Hi friends, welcome to another class on that factorial. You are asked to simplify the following question, right? So we are not solving, we are going to simplify. So in this video, I'm not going to solve this question. So I'm going to solve this question in a separate video so that it is more or less like proving. You understand what I'm saying now? So I'm going to solve it in the next video. So after watching this video, do well to check the link to this video in the comment box below. Now let's move to the first question I'm having here. The first question I'm giving it as 16 factorial divided by what? 12 factorial, 4 factorial, right? Then plus 16 factorial divided by 13 factorial, 3 factorial. Since you guys have already learned about how to factorize, right? So what we're going to do is that we check which one can we factorize. Thank God the numerator is actually the same. So what of denominator? They are not the same. So what can I factorize from this denominator part? So that's the first thing. Looking at this 12, can we express it? We can express it as something. And looking at this 13, we can also express it as something. But look, listen very well. 3 factorial is below 4 factorial, right? 12 factorial is below 13 factorial. So that means I can go ahead with and say my 14 factorial can also be written as 4 multiplied by what? 3 factorial. Exactly. Whereas my 13 factorial here in this case can also be written as what? 13 multiplied by 12 factorial. So that's the two things I'm going to use. So here what we're going to have is that I'm going to have to be 16 factorial divided by what? That's actually 12 factorial, which is not part. Then here I'm going to have, instead of being put 4 factorial, I'm going to put this. That's 4 multiplied by what? That's 3 factorial actually. 3 factorial. So then after that, I'm going to have it to be plus 16 factorial divided by what? What do I have there? I'm having 13 factorial. What's my 13 factorial? That's actually 13 multiplied by what? This is 12 factorial. Then again, we have multiplied by what? That's 3 factorial. So looking at this very well, what can I factorize? You look at this very well. In this situation, in this case, I can factorize 12 factorial and 13 factorial with this 16. I can factorize 16 factorial divided by, I can factorize 12 factorial, right? I can factorize 12 factorial, then also I can factorize, that's actually 3 factorial. Then if I factorize this, because this is 12 factorial, this is 12 factorial, and also 3 factorial, I factorize it, then I'm going to have this word 1 divided by, what do I have here? I'm having 4. Then plus 1 divided by, what do I have here? I'm having, that's actually 13. Right? So I factorize it out. No, don't forget we are asked to simplify. We are not asked to solve. So now here I'm going to have to 16 factorial divided by what? 12 factorial, 3 factorial, right? Then is equal. Now if I find the LCM, I'm going to have 13 plus what? Plus 4 divided by what? 13 multiplied by what? 4. Exactly. So here I'm left with, that's 16 factorial divided by what? 12 factorial, 3 factorial into brackets. Now 13 plus, that's actually 17 divided by what? 13 multiplied by 4. That's actually that should give me okay, let's just put it here. 13 multiplied by 13, 14 multiplied by 4, 14, well, 4 multiplied by 13 rather. So let's just leave it there. So now what we're going to do is that let's multiply everything here. 16 factorial is under 17 factorial. So we can just say this is 16 factorial multiply by what? 17 divided by what? Here I'm having 12 factorial is under 13 factorial, right? So here I'm going to have to what? That's actually 12 factorial, right? Multiply by what? 3 factorial multiply by what? Multiply by, that's actually 13 and also what? 4. This multiplication sign between them. So here I can simply simplify this as what? 7 is actually greater than 16, right? So this is actually 17 is greater than 16 rather. 17 times 16 factorial divided by, here I'm having two things here. 13, 12 is under what? Is under 13, right? So and 12 is under 13, 12 factorial is under 13, and also 3 factorial is under what? Under 4. So I can simply say this is actually 13 factorial, then 4 factorial, right? Since 13 factorial is actually the same thing as 13 times 12 factorial, and also 4 factorial is the same thing as that's actually 4 multiplied by what? 3 factorial, and I'm having 4 here. This is factorial sign. So this is actually the simple expression. This is the simple expression. So we can still further simplify this as actually 13 multiplied by 16. That's actually what? 17 multiplied by 16. That's actually 17 factorial, because it's still the same as 17 times 16 divided by what? 13 factorial 4 factorial. So this is just the simple expression. So now let's move to the next one. The next one is actually, that's, I'm asked to simplify n factorial divided by what? N plus 1 factorial. So if I should recall, n factorial is same as writing n, they multiply what? N minus 1, right? Number below n, that's n minus 2, number exactly n minus 3, and also what? And so on. But in this case, I'm having just n plus 1, and everything here represents my what? My n factorial. I can just say this is increasing order. Why this one is what? Decreasing order. The increasing order is what? Is positive 1. So what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to have this what to be. I'll write my n plus 1 factorial as what? As n plus 1, and also what? N factorial. Exactly. So here I'm going to put n factorial divided by what? N plus 1 times what? N factorial. N factorial comes to what? N factorial. Then I'm left with what? 1 divided by what? N plus 1. Exactly. So that's the answer. So now let's move to the last question, which is question C, which is 2n factorial divided by what? That's actually 2n plus 2 factorial. So if you look at this question very well, my 2n is what? Is at the middle of what? Of both the negative integer and also the what? Positive integer. I'm having 2n here. This 2n is written as 2 multiplied by what? By n. So this n is the one that carrying the what? The factorial. I'm just multiplying it by what? By 2. So in this case, I'm going to have to what? I'm going to have to be, that's 2n. Going towards the side, I'm going to have 2n minus 1, number below 2n, 2n minus 2. The amount of number above 2n, I'm going to have to what? To be 2n plus 1, and also what am I going to have here? 2n plus 2. Exactly. So in this case, it shows that my 2n plus 2 factorial is the same thing as what? As 2n plus 2, right? Then multiply what? 2n plus 1. Then what again? Multiply what? 2n factorial. Exactly. So what I'm going to do now is that I'm going to bring this 2n up. This is my 2n factorial. Then divided by what? My 2n plus 2 is equal as everything here, which is 2n plus 2, right? Then 2n plus 1. Then what again? I'm having 2n factorial. So this we cancel this. Then what am I having? I'm having it to, the final answer to be, that's actually 1 divided by what? That's 2n plus 2, and also what? 2n plus 1. That's just the answer. Or that's the answer. So if you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to click on the solution button and do well to check the solution to this question in the, I'll drop the link in the comment section below. So make sure you check it out. It will really be of help. So thanks for watching once again.